Is attacking you as a communist, are you?
No, I'm a democratic socialist.
I can respect your extreme views, but don't lie to us or gaslight us, okay? Hey guys, Brad here with another Breaking Brad video where I react to breaking news and viral moments. And today we're going to take a look at Zohran Mamdani, the left-wing socialist mayoral candidate and rising Democratic superstar, because he just went on The View, that bastion of legendary hard-hitting journalism that we just love and appreciate so much. Anyway, and he just like gaslit and lied, and the host just totally let him get away with it. So buckle up, make sure to subscribe, like, yada, yada, yada. And let's just take a look at what went down. Watch.
Let's quickly tick through all the things that Trump said about you, and let's get that out of the way, all right? Number one, he's attacking you as a communist, are you?
No, I'm a democratic socialist. That means I believe in dignity for all people.
Bruh, just dignity for all people. What a childish definition of democratic socialism. Oh yeah, if you don't believe in dignity for all people, then you're not a socialist. Or if you're a socialist, if you do, you have to be no. Dignity for all people. Yeah, oh my God. What? That's really maddeningly disingenuous. No, you have a very specific and very radical set of economic and political views. It's not just dignity for all people. What a joke.
It means more than that.
Yeah, I think...
You're not a communist. I agree with that.
No, I'm not a communist. And I think, a lot of New Yorkers have asked me, what does it mean that you're a democratic socialist?
Yeah.
And I tell them to think about the words of Dr. King from decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's the heart of it.
Okay. So you're like sort of like a Scandinavian type of politician, yeah. I would say, right? Okay.
A little more brown, but yes.
Okay.
So this really bothers me because here's the thing. Zohran is really likable. He's really charismatic, but that makes it actually kind of dangerous when he's actually so radical, but then telling you that he isn't. Zohran is basically a communist, and that's not a caricature. That's not an insult. And the thing is, guys, I mean, I think communism is a horrifying, terrible ideology that resulted in tens and tens of millions of deaths in the 20th century. But I'm not going to think you're a terrible person just because you have extreme, radical, wrong ideas. I can respect that. Honestly, I think I could probably be friends with a communist. I can't respect you lying to my face and insulting my intelligence. I'm just a democratic socialist. I just want a little bit more welfare programs and a little bit more taxation. I'm just like the Scandinavians, where they actually have much freer markets and more capitalistic systems in many ways than we do. That's just not true. He's acting like he can just rewrite history, like he can just pretend his entire political career to date doesn't exist, because he was quite openly communist until 5 minutes ago when he was suddenly running for, mainstream position. But his entire New York City career, he was just randomly tweeting quotes from the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. I'm not kidding. Here, I'll put one on screen. He tweeted, no context, May of 2020, each according to their need, each according to their ability. That's literally a direct reference to the Communist Manifesto. I mean, this guy, he has repeatedly talked about how he wants government takeover of homes, and then everyone can live in social housing. So like government will take over the housing market and own the homes. Here's a clip of that.
Go further toward the Vienna model. We'll have to go beyond the market. We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market and convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects that offer good homes and strong communities to everyone. We won't decommodify housing overnight, but we know what we have to do. And we have history to guide us.
He's repeatedly said his end goal is to seize the means of production, which is, again, the communist end goal.
What the purpose is about this entire project, it's not simply to raise class consciousness, but to win socialism. And obviously raising class consciousness is a critical part of that. But making sure that we have candidates that both understand that and are willing to put that forward at every which moment that they have, at every which opportunity that they're given. We have to continue to elect more socialists, and we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. There are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right, or whether it's the end goal of seizing the means of production.
He has even suggested he would potentially be okay with the abolition of private property. So, again, all on video, all in his own words, that is not just democratic socialism like they have in Scandinavia, where they have privatized capitalistic economies, but just high taxes and more welfare programs. No, this dude really does want a breathtaking and sweeping expansion of the government, taking over all aspects of life. It's in his freaking policy plans, from free buses to government-run grocery stores to even, he talks about in his actual plan, I'll put this on screen, seizing properties of bad landlords. In his opinion, of course, just whatever ones he doesn't like, he can just take their properties, I guess, as the government. But then you're going to look us in the eyes and tell us, I'm not a communist. What a ridiculous suggestion. What fake news. They keep calling me a communist because I tweet random quotes from the Communist Manifesto and speak like a Marxist and use all the exact same communist terminology. Don't gaslight us. Don't lie. I understand maybe politically wanting to do that because you're running as the Democratic nominee and you want to seem somewhat mainstream, but you're not, though. Like, you're not. And I would just have exponentially more respect for this person if he was honest about how radical he was. Because again, I can be friends with radicals. I can debate you. We can exchange ideas. But I really don't appreciate the disingenuous nature of this. And then, I mean, for the host of The View, is the journalism in the room with us? Like, I saw another clip where the one slightly right-leaning host, Alyssa Farah Griffin, did push back on some of his views, but the other ones, I mean, they're just eating it up. They're just saying, oh yeah, you're good. You're not a communist, right? You're just a normal Scandinavian style democratic socialist, right? Like, they're just trying to make this breathtakingly radical candidate look as palatable as normal. They're not probing. They're not confronting him on any of his past statements. Like, you don't even have to be insanely hostile and rude to do that. You could just say, all right, well, you're saying you're not a communist, but you have expressed support for seizing the means of production, abolishing private property. You've tweeted random quotes from the Communist Manifesto. So you did all that, but you're not a communist. Explain that. Like, you don't even have to be incredibly hostile. You just have to ask basic questions and push back. But these hosts of The View, I don't know, they just seem like psychologically incapable or unwilling to do so. And yet that's what drives me insane about the media. These people are paid millions of dollars a year to sit on these couches and yap like this and call it journalism. This is a news network that this show airs on. And they're getting interviews with some of the biggest figures in American politics today. And this is what they come up with. It's genuinely, I don't know, pathetic, sad. And they do their audience a real disservice, because if New Yorkers want to elect a communist as their mayor, that's their right, I guess. Like, we live in a society where people get to choose their leaders, but what they shouldn't do is be hoodwinked into electing somebody who's kind of lying and downplaying what he actually stands for and believes in based on his entire career to date, and then acting like he's actually something else, something more palatable, because we all know the real Zohran is going to emerge once he's in office, which he probably will be. He probably will win. And I think at the very least, if New Yorkers are going to have a basically communist mayor, they have a right to know that and decide whether that's what they want or not. But instead, we have more useful idiots doing glowing propaganda just because he's handsome, just because he's charismatic, and he is, just because he's a likable and funny guy, and because these people, I don't know, they're blinded by ideology. They just think tribalism, partisanship. They just think Democrat equals good, so must do propaganda. I don't know, but they're doing their audience and the public and the city of New York City, which they live in or work in at least, and should really be invested in somewhat at least. They're doing it a massive disservice and discrediting themselves to whatever extent they had a reputation left at all. And Zohran, just stop lying. Honestly, just stop lying. That's my only plea to you. But You guys let me know what you think, especially the New Yorkers in my audience. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Let me know if you're enjoying these short form videos. And if you want my long form content, you can subscribe to the Brad versus Everyone podcast, where I take on internet drama and social media trends, all from an independent perspective. The link to the podcast is in the description to get subscribed. And with that, guys, we'll be back with more content real soon.